Yeah, one. And we're live. Oh shit, let's go, let's go. Damn. Break. Ah, shit. Okay, so. Trade. Trade or grade? Okay, this is a 50-50. Trade or grade? Fuck, it's grade. It's grade. Rah! Friendship. Cringe shit. Unknown, how's it going, man? How you doing? Monopoly. Cog. A gear. A spork. Let's see if the frauds join us today. I wouldn't hold my breath, brother. One. Gear, cog, spork. Sprocket? Fuck. Gear, spork, sprocket. Dog, cog, log, smog. Fuck. It's so over. Okay, to monopolize something, to hog something, to... What does pinion mean? The outer layer of a bird's wings? Jesus. Or it's also part of a gear. Oh, so different types of gears? Or parts of a gear, maybe? A gear? A cog? A pinion? A spork? Sprocket? Fuck. Cog, gear, pinion, sprocket. Fuck's sakes. Dog, doze, frog, horn. Fucking hell. All right, it's gonna be a rough day today. It's gonna be a rough day. Clearly, try to do Lexicon. Lexicon, oven, kitchen, fear, hurt, fear, damage, fear, scared, burn. Let's go! We saw the line, baby. That was a good line. I saw that line almost immediately. Okay, that one actually worked out. Let's go. Okay, we got one. We got one. If we can win a chess game, then we'll end up at even. Okay, we'll end up at 2 wins and 2 losses for the day. That'll be pretty good. I can live with that. big brain unknown. All that forehead, all that, you know, baldness is giving me extra IQ. All about 809,000 people. That doesn't work. Spectral, how's it going, man? What the... Oh, that is the strat. Okay. I didn't see the follow-up. Chris, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? Good, don't have to run errands this morning. Nice, nice. That's always huge win. Here, no. Here. What I want to do is this, but then... Fuck! Here. Fuck. Fucking Christ, why is that wrong? Oh, the pawn, idiot. Oh, I just go here and it's mate. I stopped at 314, yes. Let's go. Oh no, it's another Indian. We're gonna lose this. I gotta abort matches against Indians. It doesn't work out well for me. Did I do a racism? It's never been my forte. Oh fuck, that was wrong. I was supposed to go here. That was dumb. Cringe shit, dude. Taking advantage of all my wrongdoings like this. I don't appreciate it. He's not just letting me get away with doing stuff wrong. That's kind of cringe, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, if I take here, he takes, I take, or if I take here, he takes, I really don't want. Upcoming chapters, 320. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. This is a... See, this is why you don't play chess against Indians. They're... I don't know. I don't like to... Whatever. I should read until 3:32 today. Wait, 18 chapters? Yeah, okay. Bro. Did you see my other comment? What? You can read us 3:18? 3:22? Maybe 22. Maybe we could do that. He goes here, I go here. I might be cooked here, boys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Give myself an escape square. Maybe I can just get him in a draw, maybe? Oh, maybe? Do I just get him in a draw? Maybe this is the strat? I don't know. Okay, because I can take the knight, or I can take the rook. But then I'm still down so many pawns. I don't know if I want to bother. I think I take the draw here. I think I take the draw. I think I take the draw. I'm down so many pawns. Dude, I clutched that up out of nowhere, okay? With the fact that we got that... Okay. Let me go back, okay? Theoretically. Say I go here. He moves his... I take. No, he's gonna want to bring it... No, well, that doesn't work. I obviously take it, idiot. What would he do here? I feel like... that one? I don't think I know Hitotachi. I don't think I know the website that you're referring to. What is that one LOTM website? I don't know. Okay. What does he actually do? Like, I actually don't like his position here very much. On the other hand, I'm going back here. I got a lot of play. I mean, maybe this was salvageable. Maybe I could have actually won this. I don't know. It was... the fact that he was up 2 pawns, I just really I'm not going to send the link, I guess. Oh, yeah, sorry. Only mods can send links. If you want, you could toss it in the Discord if you're in... what is the website about? What is the website for? 3:15, let's start. Being up 2 pawns at the level of an 800 doesn't matter too much. It matters right at the end game, Hope. Like, we're right at the end at this point, and like he's up 2 pawns. I don't like my odds there. How's it going? Dude, what happened that's bad enough for a fucking angel to get anxious here? What the fuck? It has been a while, Hope. It has. It's like fan mail or the you can beyond or simulate. Like it so much you can. Oh, that sounds dope as fuck. What a coincidence. Lumion knew better than to consider it a mere coincidence. This wasn't like the time he had rescued Jenna. Lumion had doggedly followed the trail. Monet's presence, monocle affixed, roused Lumion's caution. He mustered a semblance of a smile and said, "Indeed. What a coincidence." With one hand slipped into his pocket, Lumion played his role, pretending to secure the candles and materials on the stone. The intention was to convey that the ritual was complete and he could depart when he pleased. There was nothing left of value to plunder or destroy. Monet adjusted his monocle and with a wave of his hand offered a departing smile. "See you above ground." And just like that, he withdrew, his footsteps receding. Lumion was caught off guard. He's leaving, just like that? Could it be a coincidence? Judging from Monet's familiarity to underground Trier, it is evident that he has traversed these passages countless times. Yes, yet that level of familiarity should have taught him that barging into a well-lit spot amidst the darkness could easily trigger conflicts. Common sense dictates that a stranger's presence in the quarry cave warrants cautious observation for any approach. The abrupt, nonchalant appearance seemed off. Does he truly possess that much confidence in his abilities? As Lumion's thoughts raced, his gaze shifted from the cave entrance to the candles and materials arranged on the rocks. The question arose whether to persist with the boon ritual. At that moment, Termi Boris's voice reverberated. "You'd best relocate." Lumion's senses tingled, catching a note of unease in Termi Boris's voice. It was subtle, almost elusive. This was the first time Lumion had perceived any emotional fluctuations in the angel. In previous interactions, no matter how much Lumion goaded or prodded, Termi Boris merely remained silent. As his heart raced, Lumion asked, "Is this person truly that dangerous?" The angel had sensed a looming problem through the strings of fate, a predicament that could jeopardize his very essence. But as a seemingly less formidable individual trigger such unease? What's his motive? Lumion pressed on. Termiboros reverberated to his usual depth. I'm sealed. I can only perceive the world through you, so I lack ample information. To uncover the truth, the seal must first be weakened. Do I look like a fucking idiot? Do I even suspect that your anxiety and worry might be fabricated? But given Termiboros' previous conduct, even if progress hasn't been made, such an overt intention shouldn't be so revealed so quickly. Monet's presence was indeed odd. If possible, I must evade him. It's safer to assume he poses a considerable threat than underestimate him. With a brisk pace, Lumion gathered his belongings, clutched his lamp, and exited the cave. Drawing upon the subterranean map meticulously memorized from Martin's records, Lumion navigated closer to Quartier de la Cathédrale Commémorative, discreetly delving a few meters below ground level to stumble upon another somber, soundless cave. Exhaling a few deep breaths, Lumion surveyed his surroundings and rested his lamp on the ground. On a moderate level rock, he arranged the candles and ritual components once again. Abruptly, a flicker of motion in the shadows pricked his senses. Lumion's heart skipped a beat. Clasping the lamp, he directed its beam towards the source. A bluish-yellow radiance pierced the obscurity, unveiling a black rat. The rat made no effort to evade the light. It stood still. After a few heartbeats, it pivoted languidly and vanished into the crevices of the rock's base. For some reason, Lumion sensed a disproportion between the rat's left and right eye. Termiboros, is there a problem here too? It's best if you pray to the Fool immediately for angelic protection before moving. Could it be that grave? Lumion's pupils dilated as he produced another candle. Not a shred of concern lingered regarding Termiboros' potential to manipulate him. After all, supplicating the Fool was Lumion's last resort, and it served his interests, always. From a different vantage, the very fact that circumstances compelled an angel to indirectly beseech the Fool's protection implied that something was amiss. Both mentally and physically, Lumion's adept hands fashioned the candles, a process lasting just over 10 seconds, and sanctified the dagger and forged a wall of spirituality. Methodically, he ignited the 3 candles. I, the fool that doesn't belong to this era, the mysterious ruler above the grey fog, the king of yellow and black who wields good luck. I implore you. As the ritual unfolded, Lumion surrendered to the mist's embrace, the prickle of his skin, and the lassitudes of his mind. Once more, he glimpsed the 12-winged seraph, pure luminescence descending from infinite heights to envelop him. As the radiant wings receded and dissolved, Lumion's senses jolted back to him. Gauging his state, he hastened to pack up his items and hastily exited the mine. Dude, Klein and the Fool seem so dope from, another's perspective. Because, we know how scuffed everything with the Fool truly is. Obviously what you think, what these people think they see and what's actually happening is obviously very different. To an extent, it's significantly different now. Obviously, now that Klein is, half a great old one. But, knowing that the first time Klein did this, he took out a paper figure and he was like, let's see if this shit works. I don't know. And then just, shoved it with Sephira Castle's aura and was like, and it just kind of worked out. But to these guys, it's like, oh my god. A king of angels has come to embrace me at the beseech of my Lord and Savior. It's amazing. As the ritual unfolded, Lumion surrendered to the mist's embrace. Nope, already read this. Descending beneath the bustling market district, Lumion maintained his vigilance, practiced evasiveness, and pushed forward with meticulous attention. After almost 20 minutes, Lumion stumbled upon another cave. Stepping inside, he surveyed his surroundings and said, "Is there any issue here?" "Presently, none," Termiboros responded. Lumion shut his eyes, a newfound calm settling over him. He mulled over his options. Should I surface and await the anomaly's dissipation before seeking out another cave for the boon? Or do I seize the moment, briefly escaping the abnormality, and hasten my progress? In keeping with Lumion's disposition, he leaned to the risk. The scenario wouldn't change later. In that case, he may as well seek counsel now. The altar was reinstated, yet this time he bypassed the protection or boons, summoning Madam Magician's messenger. The doll appeared. Observing Lumion, it grumbled, "This isn't a good place." With that, it retrieved the hastily inscribed letter from Lumion. The letter briefly recounted Monet's behavior and Termi-Boris's response. Lumion exercised some cunning. He didn't outright solicit Madam Magician's protection, but merely inquired about feasibility. Hiring a demigod was quite steep, and Lumion deemed it unaffordable at the moment. Instead, he aimed to draw her attention. Of course, if push came to shove, he'd consider it. Debts could be repaid. This isn't a good place. Does this pertain to the current cave or the entirety of underground Trier? Lumion contemplated the messenger's words. Swiftly, the messenger returned. That's a big problem. Of course, the situation isn't dire. At least, I haven't discovered the gravest entity's return to the world yet. What we must ascertain is his true intent. Termi-Boris's reaction implies he's the target, but this individual excels at concealing motives. It may be a calculated illusion meant to deceive us. For the time being, and for the foreseeable future, anomalies should be absent. Stabilize yourself and proceed with the boon. That's an angel? The entity whose hostility Monet exhibited is an angel? This brought to him the uniqueness of Saul de Ball unique, suspecting that confronting him to reclaim a debt might entangle him with the host of an angelic blessed. Not just some angel, dude. The fucking goat. The angel who makes gods afraid. Seeing Madam Magician's assessment align with Termi-Boris's, Lumion composed himself. Before long, he focused on the pair of grey-white candles symbolizing inevitability, and repeated, "Power of inevitability. You are the past, the present, and the future, the cause, the effect, and the process." In a repetition of events, the silver-black candle flame once again solidified into a beam of light, striking Lumion's chest, already racked with agony and turmoil. Amidst the pervading grey fog and the unsettling black wind, a silvery black, illusory liquid trickled out. At some point in time, Lumion's pain and vertigo has faded. He felt as though he had transformed into an entirely different entity. Okay, listen, if he got reduced to a sequence 2 by anyone else, that would be one thing, okay? This motherfucker got reduced by the fool. Can we really blame the man? Anyone else and I'd be like, oh, he's such a bum, he lost it. The fool? The half-great old one? The dominator of the spirit world? I'm not judging him too. Listen, that's like saying, like, in JJK you lost to Sukuna. Like, that doesn't say you're weak, it just says you lost to fucking Sukuna. I don't know. Fucking everyone loses to that guy. Except my goat, Gojo Satoru, of course. I'm not gonna hear any fucking arguments about this, okay? Lumion... Standing in the wilderness, he gripped a wooden bow in his hand and released an arrow that gleamed with a blue radiance towards his aerial target. Yuji didn't lose either. Yeah, but Yuji also had like 19 different people fight before him to weaken him. The keen, spectral blue arrow cut through the sky, finding its mark in the belly of a dusky vulture. An acute agony surged into Lumion's consciousness. He observed himself beating his wings, descending with an arrow lodged perilously close to the abdomen. Lose to fool who's given up his chance to... Yeah. Imagine Klein going... Imagine the fucking god of mischief, or whatever, effectively the god of mischief, nearly, going, "You're fucking crazier than I am, what the fuck? Like, you should have lost your mind a long time ago." Klein goes, "Maybe I did." No, why have I become a vulture? Amidst his present experience, Lumion maintained a fragment of awareness of his own state. Bang! He collided brutally with the ground, each bone fracturing with excruciating force. Lumion teetered on the brink of unconsciousness as a hyena lunged. Warm, repulsive scent filled his mouth. He found himself ravaging the lifeless form of a grayish-black vulture. The bluish tinge arrow had snapped within the avian creature. Taste is nauseating. I'm no Ludwig, Lumion protested. He didn't completely mistake himself for a hyena, but he continued to bite and devour his prey, not letting go of the poisoned parts. Abruptly, a searing pain stabbed into his back, as though he was thrust onto the ground by a razor-sharp claw. His attacker, an uncanny lion marred by decay. Lumion tore the hyena's throat apart and retreated with it into the nearby underbrush. As he witnessed the scene through an observer's lens, he dismantled the hyena. Amidst a mix of satisfaction and revulsion, Lumion's abdomen seethed. Harsh, how's it going, man? His powers, teetering on the edge of control, were fully ignited by the venom. His sanity waned, spiraling into insanity. No, I mustn't succumb. The paramount objective remains incomplete. Lumion drew in the faint, sweet aroma of grey amber, resisting complete surrender to madness. Listen, I'm gonna say it. I feel like the plot has obviously taken a bit of a fall from Lord of the Mysteries, but I feel like the biggest thing for me is the actual fucking just writing, just like the words have also taken like a hit. Like, I feel like Lord of the Mysteries was so eloquently written, and like I read this and I'm like, maybe I'm reading a shitty like translation. That might also be the case. I don't know. Kind of gives me motivation if I read like 35 chapters today. Oh shit, how's it going, man? Wait, quick, Matt, you finished COI, I assume, right? Or have you, or are you also like trying, have you also been part of the, like, I read some of it and then it's just, and then I kind of give up for a while? Is it like your first read through, or are you doing like a secondary or tertiary one? Also, good to have you. How you doing, buddy? Sorry. Yeah. I feel the writing is better in I don't know. I find it worse. Like, what was the thing? Like, this taste is nauseating. I'm no Ludwig, the monstrous child, Lumion's internal complaint resounded. I don't know. I feel like it's a worse writing. Nope, near volume 7? Oh, so you're almost done. Okay. Dope. Nice. Oh, hey, if you ever want to talk about it, let me know. I know, Easy and I always used to do, like, volume talk. Fuck, dude, I gotta reach out to him. We haven't done an actual Lord of the Mysteries end talk. We were supposed to a long time ago. Let me know if you ever want to have a chat about COI or, like, Lord of the Mysteries in general. That'd be dope. Fuck, I gotta reach out to Easy. It's been so while since we talked. Does he stream that often anymore? I feel like I don't see him live. I have major beef with the COI translation, especially the verse. Oh, okay. The French, okay, the French bothers me. It doesn't bother me as much as most people, though, just because I'm Canadian, so, like, I had to take French for 7 years in school, so I was like, I don't speak French by any fucking stretch of the imagination, but, like, I can get through this without, you know, it, like, hurting my soul. Like, obviously, the French people in my chat are like, actually, you're pronouncing it wrong, but cringe shit, okay? By the way, I'm using a KCD music today. Let me know if y'all are good with it. I've kind of just been getting sick of just using Witcher 3 and fuck, what was the first one we were using? Skyrim music, I think. Like, for a while, I was just kind of getting sick of it. KCD music is nice. It's fun. Nice. Where am I? Like, okay, in particular, like, listen to this, okay? No, I mustn't succumb. The paramount objective remains incomplete. Lumion drew in the faint, sweet aroma of great amber, resisting complete surrender to madness. I don't know. That sounds rough as fuck, okay? Mad, yeah, you're telling me, bro. Dude, I don't upload video. I stream. I don't upload videos either. My problem is the videos I like to upload are they're so time intensive. It takes so long for me to, like, I can't. And I literally, I can't afford an editor. I had some, I got my volume 6 video edited. That was really nice. But fuck, man, I can't afford that for every video. So, and like the videos I like to do, they take so long. Like, and a 10-minute video will take me like 7 or 8 hours of editing. It's so difficult for me to like carve out that time. So, I get it. With a wooden bow in his grasp, Lumion caught a whiff of the repugnant odor and sighted a decaying lion, 2 wart-like growths growing on its shoulder, its mouth adorned with remnants of vibrant red flesh and blood. A jolt of alarm coursed through Lumion as full self-awareness returned. He discerned that the hunter's form had turned ethereal, akin to the vulture, hyena, and the lion, morphing into an intricate silver-black word, with the words linked with the symbol, weaving a ring that abruptly contracted onto his body. Lumion's eyes opened. He confronted the flickering silver-black candle flame, a half-meteor-tall stone. The encounter felt tangibly authentic, as if I had been the vulture, the hyena, the lion, and another human. Lumion massaged his head and rose to his feet gradually. He couldn't remember when he rolled on the ground in pain. Exhaling deeply, Lumion affirmed that he had acquired a new boon and transformed into a contractee. He swiftly tidied up the altar, dismantling the wall of spirituality, and grabbed the carbide lamp, ready to leave the quarry cave at any moment. No, Matt, I'm not even talking about like the videos for like my stream videos. Those are kind of whatever. I'm talking about like even my volume ender video. Like I make a video for every volume of Lord of the Mysteries. When I end it, I gotta start doing the same for CO. I am so far behind. I gotta do 7, 8, 1, 2. Fuck, man. Alright, I guess I gotta cry to Sal, see if we can just... Those are like between 10 minutes or about 10 minutes or so, and they'll take me like 7 hours of editing. Like, it's just crazy shit. I don't know, I'm also really bad at editing, so it just takes me a lot longer than, you know, it would take someone a lot more competent. Simultaneously, Lumion assessed his transformation. His spirituality had seen a marked increase. His flexibility as a dancer and the alms monk endurance had shown modest improvement. His intuitive sense for luck had also gotten a slight upgrade. However, upon recognizing that Chirpy Boris could sway his fate and judgment, he refrained from frequently relying on this ability. Luvian, how's it going, man? It has been a little while. How's it going, buddy? Summoning Dance was now exerted a broader sphere of influence and had the ability to forcibly possess the bizarre creature that had extended. The contractee status bestowed upon him was a single fresh ability, the power to enter into a contract with a summoned creature, directly bestowing a distinct skill. Contrary to Lumion's anticipation, this unique contract had merged with his body and soul. Its transfer to others was impossible. In essence, he had become an indivisible part of the contract, the most pivotal aspect. In time, he would need to rely on this element to compose the remaining sections of the contract and offer them to the target creature for singing. Was I able to get some sleep recently? Nice, nice. I slept so good, dude. I slept for like 10 hours, 11 hours. And like normally I sleep for like 6, so like I feel good as shit. Once the contract, oh wait, hold on. After musing for a time, Lumion had a rudimentary understanding of the specifics of his ability. The agreement could solely be formed with the consent of the target creature. Once the target was sealed, he could handpick the traits he desired. With each ratified contract, not only would he gain a skill, but he'd also assimilate a measure of influence from the being. The higher its rank, the greater the adverse impact. The count of contracts inked depended on his resilience. Perhaps he could endure just one high-level or potent attribute, or several ordinary ones, keeping pace with his standing. Particularly feeble ones could be pursued more liberally. Upon signing a contract, fucking, I don't like this song. What the fuck is this? I don't like music that's like that has a lot of words in it when I'm reading, because my mind kind of starts trying to interpret the words and I get all jumbled up. Yes. Upon signing a contract, a cost was entailed. A part was a tribute to the contracted entity, and the remainder was a tribute to the witness. The cost could encompass life, limbs, kin, loved ones, offerings, one's spirituality, a fraction of reason, and so on. The precise demand hinged on the desire of the being. Hence, much of the intelligence Lumion gleaned from his boon concerned the corresponding creature. This encompassed specific abilities and the compensation the counterparty sought. Nevertheless, most of these odd creatures were sinister and uncanny, and the price he'd pay was consistent. Lumion didn't wish to select from their ranks. Of course, this wasn't the prime rationale. Conceivably, these creatures harboring the mystical knowledge interwoven with the power of inevitability had ties to that entity. Lumion dreaded that forging a contract with them might covertly manipulate him, propelling his destiny into the abyss. Consequently, Lumion had no intention of designating the entity as the object of prayer and witnessing when entering into a pact. A superior choice was at hand: Mr. Fool. According to the sermons in the Fool's Cathedral, the great entity reigned over the spirit world, the angel of the Holy Spirit by his throne, presiding over the spirit world on his behalf. Is the angel of the Holy Spirit Gehrman? Or is that someone else? In such a situation, Lumion marked... No? Who's... In a situation, Lumion, marked by the Fool's seal and enlisting the Fool as an intermediary and pact witness, could potentially yield substantial advantages and concealed benefits when attempting to forge with a spirit world creature. Just like other contractees signing contracts with strange creatures that came with knowledge. Lumion promptly sorted through the required knowledge and discerned the certain aspects that remained ambiguous. What? Take that back, Mad. Mr. Fool and the true creator are so nice. They would never harm anyone. Oh, Raynette. That does make sense. Okay, spirit world. That makes sense. Oh, wait. No. Gehrman is like the angel of vengeance or some shit, right? Yeah, I think you're right. For instance, the stipulation of obtaining the target creature's consent before signing a contract did not specify the methodology of gaining consent. Motherfucker just learned about coercion, okay. Securing agreement through offering as a bribe constituted consent, but so did beating them into submission. Additionally, the deleterious impact of the acquired knowledge from the contracted creature brought along with the limit of one's endurance, precluded the prospect of Lumion circumventing the system to forge a pact with a high-level creature, and obtaining godlike powers at a reasonable price via Mr. Fool's seal. Nonetheless, the liberty to cherry-pick an amalgamation of skills within a defined spectrum imposed a considerable upper boundary on the potential of a contractee. Naturally, the floor was equally low. Lumion steadied himself and said, "Termi Boris, have you anything to add?" Oh, retribution. Okay, that does. Okay, vengeance was close. Okay, I wasn't like off in left field. That doesn't. They're like synonyms in my book. They might actually be synonyms. Hold on. Retribution Sin. Yep, vengeance in the list. It counts. Scoreboard. To be candid, Lumien's foremost apprehension upon descending into the underground was whether Boros would exploit the boon-seeking ritual to instigate harm. After all, the potency of the boon he was acquiring was escalating, posing a genuine threat to the angel. Even if securely sealed, he would unearth a method to stir up the discord. Furthermore, during the ritual, the seal would inevitably crack, permitting the essence of inevitability to trickle out, permitting his strength to wane. Furthermore, during the boon ritual, the seal would inevitably crack slightly, permitting the essence of inevitability to trickle out. Initially, Lumien had intended to solicit safeguards before officially beseeching a boon. Unexpected, Monet's appearance and the angel backing him had expedited the need for a blessing. The mine entrance, Boros spoke. What the fuck does that mean? Lumien clutched their lamp and advanced to the entrance of the cave. A bluish-yellow luminescence cast over the debris-strewn expanse. It wasn't present when I entered. Lumien's body tensed as he cautiously drew closer. On the ebony paper, a monocle had meticulously been drawn. Sol de Ball Unique, Night of Lovers, 7 p.m. on the last night of the month. You're invited. Lumien summoned an image of Monet donning a monocle in his right eye socket. He had earnestly invoked the fool's protection and expended considerable effort, yet he failed to shake off the trickster. The trickster! Let's go! No, Mr. Fool's blessings exudes a higher tier anti-divination and anti-prophecy. Unless Monet has been lurking in my vicinity being thrown off, it's impossible for him to gain proximity. Silence regained within the obscurity bordering the cave. Yet, Lumien's skin prickled, as though an abundance of eyes remained concealed within the air. In the Cordu days, Lumien might have snatched up that invitation and made his way to the Sol de Ball Unique, all to unleash a prank, but this time, Lumien's grip on the mystical world was firmer, a result of his brush with countless otherworldly aberrations. He conjured a flicker with a snap of his finger, sending forth a crimson spark. Amidst the swiftly burgeoning flames, Lumien departed from the Quarry Cavern, his carbide lamp casting its light, guiding him towards the nearest exit. Yet, on this journey, an unshakable paranoia seized him. The moss on the walls, the insects in the shadows, even the intangible creatures that couldn't be seen. As if Monet's eyes bore into him from all angles. The blood chickens! It wasn't mere illusion, but rather a reality that wounded Lumien's mind. Boros' unwavering quiet provided the lone solace. A quarter-hour's passage led Lumien to ascend the steel stairs, emerging onto solid ground. What do you call it? Lumien's never even met Amon, and he's shitting his pants this badly. Unironically, this is why, and no wonder Klein was like genuinely afraid of this. Like, fuck Klein. You know who I think about most? Palez. Palez has got to be genuinely just fucking... If someone says the word Amon, like he just genuinely has like a panic attack. I need some peace and quiet. Holy shit. Unknown. What the fuck? Where are you right now? What do you mean you fell asleep? What time is it for you? Aren't you in the States? Are you flying right now? Palez only exists to make Amon look good. Absolute bum. I traveled today, so tired. I get it. As sunbeams pierce the sky, penetrating a sea of white. And oh, good lord, fucking, you're making me sleepy, fuck you. And bathing his visage in their glow, he felt as though he had been reborn. No wonder Madam Magician set to live under the sun and tree as much as possible. Exhaling a sigh, Lumin snuffed the carbide lamp, locked his bearings, and charted his way back to Rue de Blue Blanche. Dude, every day for... Okay, listen, Matt, I get why you're calling Palaz a bum, but I'm gonna say, like, every day for Palaz was basically a Derek side quest, okay? He's think about it. He's a sequence 2. This man should be, like, the king of the world. And he's, like, genuinely shit in his pants because he's like, he's gonna find me. He's gonna find me and take it all away. Dude, it's so sad. This man, a sequence 2, this man is a fucking legend. And think about a sequence 2 of the Amon pathway. I just call it the Amon pathway for all intents and purposes, okay? Like, this guy should be a fucking legend. And yet he's legitimately just a bum having a coward because Amon is him, bro. Upon re-entering the world, he summoned Madam Magician's messenger and apprising the holder of the major arcana card of the developments that had unfolded. Madam Magician's reply was simple. Exemplary work. Steer clear of Sol de Ball unique. The Lord's Angel of Time shall keep vigilant watch over this affairs. Let's go! Why would Mr. Fool's Angel of Time direct his attention to Sol de Ball unique? Is there an Angel of Time? The angelic entity whom the charlatans of Sol de Ball unique revere bears a link to the Mr. Fool's Angel of Time? Or perhaps an animosity? With a measure of relief, he reclined upon the bed, surrendering himself to the sleep's embrace, an interlude wherein his mind's mental fortitude and vitality underwent invigoration. When I was going skydiving, I was scared shitless, unable to move a muscle. My best friend at the time came over and whispered, Palazoroast! Peek! At that moment, I knew nothing important was going to happen. This would not be the end of my story. With a measure of relief prevailing, he reclined upon his bed. No, I already read this. At noon, Lumina ate two savory meat pies and drank a glass of apple whiskey sour. Seated at the table, he engaged in an earnest perusal of the bestiary chronicling the spirit world creatures. He raced through the pages, a steep black fountain pen danced in his hand. After over an hour, Lumi distilled a preliminary list of 50 to 60 entities boasting suitable attributes and modest threat levels. Following the breadcrumbs of the indicated page numbers, he retrieved the source manuscripts and embarked on meticulous research. Intermittent breaks punctuated his reading as evening painted the sky in hues of light. Lumin at last concluded his perusal of the source material. A final selection had been forged. A red slandering said you lied to him about St. Paddy's Day? The fuck? Where? Where's he saying this? The fuck do you mean I lied to him about St. Paddy's Day? It exists. It happened yesterday. What are you talking about? They're a server for some reason? Motherfucker, yeah, of course he's choosing to slander me not in my own server, pussy. Fuck him. It's fine, I'll talk to him later. But St. Paddy's Days are so fun. What contracts do you think Lumin will get? Are they creatures that I know of? Oh, God. Sorry, I'm old, okay? because like I feel like I don't know that many spirit world creatures. Am I crazy? Like, like the ones I can think of more than anything else are like the fucking Seven Lights, like Hilarion. I think that's the only one. That's the only name I can remember. And like Madam Messenger. Like, who the fuck else do I know that's a spirit world creature? Harsh, fuck you for saying that, but you are right. First in line was the Abscessed Hand. This enigmatic spirit, once enshrouded in legend across the southern and central parts of the world, had been conjured by an aficionado of mysticism, leaving a trail of lifeless bodies in its wake. But with oiled up hair? Listen, you can say what you want, okay? Anytime you want to compare your fucking hair to mine, send a fucking pic in Discord, motherfucker. Let's go. Listen. The fact that I got nicer hair than all of y'all, you're gonna make fun of it. I got no qualms with it, okay? I know you only do this out of jealousy, okay? It's all good. Y'all wish. Cry about it. From crime scene accounts, the fallen were strewn across the forest expanse. With the exception of those initially claimed with a hunter's lounge, the remaining deaths occurred nearly simultaneously. The revelation hinted at the Abscessed Hand's swift transition between victims, throttling one soul and in a heartbeat lunging to the next. Dream divinations unveiled a bluish-black, gargantuous hand, gangrenous hand, swollen and oozing. Its appearance was always abrupt, snapping a victim's neck within a second or two before vanishing. Yo, imagine Jack the Ripper as like a spirit world creature literally pops in, strangles you, leaves. What? As for its danger level, Madam Magician's account deemed it commonplace, bound by the constraints of the summoning ritual. Nevertheless, significant details stood out. It is suspected to be a fragment of something greater. A severed hand? Could it be kindred comprised of severed legs, heads, torso, and innards? What would happen if everything converges? If reassembled, what would manifest? Lumen scoured the index in vain, failing to find analogous entities. As an alternative theory, the remaining Abscessed Hand counterparts might reside within the powerful and dangerous categories, evading the scrutiny of Franca, Jenna, and the others. Should the anticipated spirit world traversal prowess prove elusive, or if the cost demanded an untenable toll, Lumion had an arsenal of alternatives at his disposal. With regards to disguising abilities, he found a particular fondness for a spirit world creature known as the Headless Bride. This tale was woven within the heart of the Haganti kingdom in the southern continent, beginning with the story of a young girl who dared to elope with her beloved. In the shadowed chambers of their hidden nuptials. What is a nuptial? Nuptial? Oh, a wedding. Idiot. Her kin unveiled the shrouded ceremony. Amidst the assembly of family and kin, her own brother exacted a swift, brutal end, severing her head in the name of matrimonial transgression. Perhaps this girl was special to begin with, or perhaps she had come into contact with something related to the spirit world in her elopement. Fueled by the agony, fury, and rancor that gripped her, she imbibed in the essence of the spirit world, transmuting her corpse, akin to an evil spirit. Dressed in a scarlet bridal raiment adorned with gilded motifs, she hunted and hexed her lineage, subjecting them to unending torment for over 3 decades, until the tapestry of her lineage was all but erased. Honestly? Don't even blame her. Good for her. Fuck those guys. In the present, the Headless Bride prowled the spirit world, shape-shifting with calculated artistry. Its transformations beguiled unwary creatures and unsuspecting travelers, drawing them closer to their doom. For a pyromaniac, this was an easy target. Headless Bride's alternative was human-faced Mantis, a unique creature. When he was alive, he was a playboy with elegance and good looks, an educator in Sion and the Intis Republic's Hornacis province, embraced by the admiration and adorer of both distinguished dames and youthful maidens, gifted in literature, skilled in poetry. This existence found an abrupt termination when a spurned spouse denounced him to the church as a warlock, accusing him of sorcery. Agents dispatched from the EBS church probed deeper into the matter, gathering accounts. Astonishingly, their testimonies echoed the allegations in the complaint letter. Stranger to one another, these men's narratives converged. In contrast, the dames and young maids adamantly attested to their willing involvement, fervently defending the playboy. Amidst the simmering resentment, the trial raced to a conclusion and the playboy met his end at a stake. Upon later investigation, officials confirmed his innocence, unveiling the accusations as a construct of collective envy and enmity. Listen, this should have been... All I'm gonna say is, before he was gonna die, this should have been his last words, okay? This is all I'm gonna say. He should have just not said anything else, and this should have been...
Maybe Tanisha call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with, nigga.
And then just died. That should have been his last words, bro. I'm like, bro, it's not my fault. Fuck you. It suggested that an instigator was behind the scenes. In the spirit world, the playboy's essence metamorphed into a mantis bearing a human visage. Festering within him was an all-consuming loathing. Lumion turned emotional as he read the two pieces of information. 6 years in the countryside had acquainted him with the arrogance that shadowed a village life. From this, he deduced that not all spirit world creatures were denizens sprang from nature's womb, but rather, under exceptional circumstances, humans could transmute into spirit creatures. His choices boiled down to thousand-eyed evil and shadow of shriek, for invisibility and concealment. The two entities were quintessential natives of the spirit world, venturing forth only in the realms of nightmare and tomes of authentic warlock craft. The thousand-eyed evil comprise fleshy forms exuding a pink ichor, each adorned with an eye bereft of flashes. Gazing into the ebony pupils of these multitudes led to a swift slumber. Their connection to dreams was palpable. They occasionally manifested in the dark recess of the most harrowing nightmares. The shadow of Shriek, on the other hand, manifested as a confluence of translucent shadows. The frequent outbursts of shrieks induced unconsciousness in those who dared to draw near. Beyond their shrieks, they bore the attributes of ordinary shadows. Lumion meticulously transcribed all the details concerning the alternative contenders onto fresh paper, folding it as he slipped the paper into his pocket. He lingered into the precincts of Salle de Brie for a time, eventually departing from Avenue de Marche at 10 p.m. Finding his way along the Louis docks, gaining ultimate entry into the two-story edifice he had once reduced to ruins. Though the inferno that had previously raged had long been quelled, the structure now stood cloaked in inky darkness. Recognizing that his intended audience was none other than the fool, rather than the entity called inevitability, Lumion had no intention of executing a summoning ritual underground. The choice was to avoid any potential encounters with odd and dangerous swindlers. The primary objective was to locate a secluded enclave far from prying eyes. This calculated approach would ensure that even in the event of unforeseen mishaps, should the summoned entity lose control, the collateral damage would be minimal. Having meticulously arranged a relatively unscathed chamber ensconced within the obsidian heart of a decrepit building, Lumion arranged an altar. Relying on the insights gleaned from his role as a contractee, Lumion diverged from the norm by invoking 2 additional candles. In this ritual, Mr. Fool was both the focal point of supplication and the solemn observer. With a wall of spirituality set in place, Lumion didn't rush to commence the incantation, and instead extracted an iron grey flask. With this flask, Lumion ingeniously affixed a slender thread, its counterpart connected to the decency brooch that laid submerged within the pool of absinthe. This ingenious design facilitated Lumion's swift and precise retrieval of the sealed artifact, no clumsy maneuvering required. A simple hook of his index finger and the brooch was within grasp. As he tugged at the brooch, bursts of crimson erupted, severing the knot binding the artifact. I'm sorry if you can hear my nephew yelling. He harbored the belief that brokering a contract with a denizen of the spirit world carried a cost, akin to a form of bribery. In this context, Lumion hoped the decency brooch would help. Securely fastening the brooch, Lumion's gaze shifted to the tree of candles ablaze. I thought it was a cat. No. I am an unc. I have a niece and a nephew, and then like 300 of you in the Discord. Love you guys. Except Sal. Fuck that guy. Yeah, I said it, pussy. He's not gonna hear it, but all the same, I said it. It makes me feel better. Lumion recited in ancient Hermes, the fool that doesn't belong to this era, the ruler above the grey fog, the king of yellow and black who wields good luck. An act employed for this week? I don't even know what that means. I beseech your shelter. I pray for your attention. In the name of the fool, I summon a peculiar creature that roams the upper realms, the enigmatic sever hand, the bluish-black throat crusher. Throat crusher's crazy. Lumion crafted this incantation based on the insights of the abscessed hand's data, omitting the terms weak and friendly. The bluish-black candle flame surged, intertwining to shape an ethereal doorway. Gradually, the door creaked open, a decaying bluish-black hand emerging, looming, twice the size of Lumion's palm. The afflicted, severed hand hovered over the enigmatic illusory entrance, its fingers extended towards Lumion's throat. Lumion retrieved a flask of military-grade alcohol. What the fuck is military-grade alcohol? And drizzled a few drops towards the altar where the abscessed hand stood. The liquid struck down the ground midway, but a glint from the Scotch broom-shaped brooch, the bribe, was discreetly consummated. Only then did Lumion speak. His voice resonated within his throat and chest as he enunciated alien syllables. These were the words he had never encountered, sourced from mystical knowledge of contractees, empowering him. They fell under the mystical language of fate, an integral part of his arcane language. Lumion's voice resonance coalesced into a silvery black glyph akin to symbols. He descended upon the faux goatskin resting on the altar, melding into a brief yet uncanny covenant. As the pact solidified, Lumion established an intricate connection with the hand. Through this conduit, Lumion gleaned the rudimentary abilities and traits of the hand. Those yearnings were the price Lumion had to pay. Locate my body, or godhood shall elude you forever. An advance payment and a debt to be settled? Could this be the unfolding of the bribe? No, that's not it. Upon sealing the contract, the price is promptly remitted, manifesting as an inexorable fate of ascending to demigodhood. Once I uncover the remaining segments of the hand, the reward shall naturally replace the price. Presently, it's akin to providing ample collateral. Locate my body, or godhood shall elude you forever. What does that mean? Because in mysticism, you can't always take the alternative to be true, to say like, oh, if I find your body, you'll give me godhood. That doesn't make any sense. So he's literally saying like, hey, if you don't find my body by the time you're a sequence 5, I'll fucking kill you. That'd be my interpretation of it. I don't quite enjoy that. A trait intrinsic. Wait, hold on. Concurrently, he found the coveted spirit world traversal ability of the abscessed hand and its attributes and qualities, inclusive of its anti-divination, quasi-invincibility, and the skill to snap the necks of those without godhood. A trait intrinsic to the abscessed hand, not a mere ability. Its effects marginally deviated from Lumien's expectation. With decency's utilization window limited to 15 minutes, the cost was bearable. Lumien spoke. I shall aid you in finding your body. Until then, godhood shall elude me. These words fused with the surroundings, morphing into the wisps of bluish-black mist. The abscessed hand descended, leaving a tincture of yellow-tinged, sanguinous pus. Spontaneously, the covenant ignited. They interlinked, configuring an intricate, enigmatic pattern, condensing onto Lumien's shoulder. Though concealed beneath the attire, Lumien's psyche conjured an image of the right shoulder. A curious black seal emblem materialized. Instinctively, Lumien apprehended that upon activating the contract sigil, he could harness the abscessed hand's attributes to traverse the spirit world. Dissolution of the contract was only conceivable upon the demise of either party, a destiny preordained. Sal, how's it going, man? Without bothering to experiment with the spirit world traversal, Lumien terminated the summoning and embarked on a fresh ritual. In the name of the fool I summon the vengeful spirit that wanders the void, the headless bride within her eternal plight, and the wellspring of a bloodline's malevolence. Once again, the enigmatic illusory portal manifested. Long time no see, Sal. How you doing? Enshrouded in bluish-black flames interweaving, a frigid wind swept forth, transforming the summer into a wintry chill. Lumien observed a form materialize from within the illusory entrance, adorned in a vibrant red festive gown. The figure stood before him. Without question, the figure lacked a head. Lumien meticulously followed the prescribed procedure, utilizing the liquor as a bribe, reciting the contractual pledge. He discerned the price demanded by the bride. I'm fine, just woke up, got work in an hour. Nice, nice. Oh, work in an hour. What is it, like 4 p.m. for you or about? You have a lot of time zones over there. I'm not 100%. It's gonna be 4 or 5, right? Thank you for your presence, Lumien muttered with a sardonic smile, concluding the ritual. 4. Fucking... Okay. How you doing? How you doing? From the seemingly fruitless summoning, he gleaned valuable insights, confirming that bribe wielded a degree of influence. The original demand from the bride entailed a kin sacrifice, but the bribe managed to expand the scope to encompass friends. Lumien's sights next shifted to a human-faced mantis, formulating the vindictive spirit that wanders about the void, the hunter adopting a mantis guise, a shapeshifter adept at donning human semblance. Amidst a peculiar swooshing sound, an immense, translucent cyan mantis emerged. Its head bore the visage of youth, handsome and radiant. Sensing the summoner's presence and gender, the mantis swiftly transformed into a resplendent woman wearing a black evening gown. The mantis delineated 3 categories of offering, requiring solely one to be met. The contractor's reproductive organs, the contractor's capacity for lying, the contractor's immolation at the stake. The fuck? You want the pillar and the stones? You want me to never be able to lie again, or you want to set me on fire? What the fuck is even that? The fuck? Post-bribe, the stipulations underwent some relaxation. The bride unknowingly frame-mugging Lumion. Post-bride, the stipulations underwent some relaxation, affording an additional choice or two. This entity seeks but a single thing. It's human anguish. His malevolence aligns towards men. If I were a female, this option likely wouldn't be this bad. The second corresponds to slanderers and false accusers. The third aligns to himself on the stake. As a pyromaniac, the third posed no grave challenge. On one hand, he exhibited formidable resistance to flames, and on the other, enduring agony was his forte. Were this choice absent, Lumion intended to forfeit the subsequent summoning and subsequently summoned several compatible spirit world creatures later. Depriving him of the power to lie would markedly undermine his abilities, rendering survival in a place like Trier implausible. He also wasn't certain if his reproductive organs were to return at 6 a.m. He's like, bro, I can't take the chance. I can't. Without delay, he found the niece face he brought from the arsenal of the human-faced mantis abilities. Niece had been the name of the human-faced mantis during its living days. The essence of the ability leaned more towards illusion than corporeal transformation. Nevertheless, absent the means to nullify it or godhood, piercing through the illusion remained beyond reach. This occasion saw the black insignia affixed to Lumion's left shoulder, accompanied by a surge of crimson flames. Unperturbed by Lumion's actions, they ignited his attire and charred his flesh. Sensations reminiscent yet distinct from his encounter with Susanna Matisse enveloped him, an amalgamation of familiar and unfamiliar torment coursing through him. Swiftly forsaking his belongings, Lumion clutched the decency brooch in his palm. A conflagration endured for over 3 minutes. Lumion's skin charred and his clothes imprinting scorched onto his body. For a pyromaniac, such wounds posed no mortal peril. They scarcely even qualified as severe. The enigmatic entity that roams the upper realm, a mass of flesh bedecked by myriad of eyes. Awareness! How's it going, man? How you doing? A participant of the abysmal realm of nightmares. As the chant resonated, a creature of flesh and sinew rolled forth through the illusory door, each flesh fragment sporting a white eye. Clasping the aluminum white military flask, Lumion's grip faltered as he abruptly descended into a profound slumber. After an indeterminate stretch, he snapped back to his consciousness, a realization dawning that the ritual had concluded of its own accord. The thousand-eyed evil had retreated to the spirit world, foregoing a genuine assault. I was lulled to sleep by mere sight. Communication is impossible. Also, this level of influence lies beyond the ritual's inherent protection. Lumion seized the Sol de Bobry, a pocket watch, to ascertain the time. Thankfully, I only slept for about a few minutes. There's about 3 minutes left. Lumion focused. The spirit that wanders the void, a confluence of myriad silhouettes, the progenitor of incapacitating shrieks. Once more, the mysterious, illusory entrance swung ajar, yet what met Lumion's gaze wasn't a shadow, but a nebulous silhouette, draped in pitch-black armor resembling fish scales. Distinct from all armor documented in newspapers and magazines, this suit bore scales, each akin to miniature writhing shadows. Could the summoning incantation have been imprecise? Yielding a kindred spirit and a spirit world creature, it seemingly boasts an incapacitating shriek. Let's gaze the prospects of cementing a pact. The shadow stipulated an offer, a blood tribute of 10 or more lives, or gold amounting to 100,000 Vril d'or? Bribe of courtesy, the prerequisite exhibited leniency, demanding the sacrifice be rendered within 3 months. Failing to comply would precipitate contract retribution, a potential encompassing control loss, or even worse, a fatality. 100,000 Vril door. Lumion discerned this to be manageable, therefore delving into the ability roster and traits of armored shadows to locate the Shriek. While scouring, he happened upon an ability with an intriguing nomenclature, Spell of Harumph. 319, travel. Wait, where did you guys say I could end today? 322 was it? I can't remember. Chris, do you remember by chance? Ugh. $322? Okay, thank you. 4 more chapters. God damn. We keep going. We push forward. Awareness, how's it going, man? I don't know if he's still here, mind you, but... The spell of Harumph derived its name from a combination of a snort from the nose and a harumph from the mouth. Moreover, the enigmatic armored shadow, while alive, believed either to be a human or a humanoid creature, many of its distinct attributes and abilities had been given their own names. These attributes weren't like the dense individuals who relied on Lumion to simplify and assign labels. Information channeled through the unique connection revealed Lumion the spell of Harumph was a spell-like ability capable of affecting a spirit body. Through the dual sounds, it stirred one's consciousness to induce a mystical transformation, generating a unique fluctuation that surged to the target. Any creature touched by the fluctuation would experience severe dizziness at a minimum, or even psychic piercing assault at the worst. This ability would grow in potency and the user advanced in levels. In essence, it possessed the potential to influence divine entities, provided Lumion also ascended to Sequence 4 or temporarily elevated his level. Impressive, it's on par with the incapacitated Shriek. Moreover, harumphing seems more dignified than indiscriminate shouting. Realizing time was of the essence, Lumion made a commitment and formalized the agreement. He harbored a genuine curiosity about the additional attributes and the capabilities of the Shadow. Their names held a certain uncanny quality, such as the night parade of 10,000 demons and a soul-devouring scream. This time, the seal-like object descended on Lumion's right chest, marking the conclusion of the ritual. Swiftly, he secured a thread around the decency brooch and returned it to the flask. Dismissing the barrier, he cleared the altar and retrieved the objects. Subsequently, a ghost light emanated from Lumion's right shoulder, and he abruptly vanished, traversing into a mythical realm drenched in layers of hues and peculiar creatures. And subsequently, he exited the spirit world, dazed, reappearing in his bedroom on Sol de Balbri. As Lumion massaged his skull, he nodded. This ability is quite useful. Nah, dude. Spirit World Traversal at Sequence 7 is crazy shit. What the fuck do you mean? Sequence 5 is travel. Is 4 travel or is 5 travel? Is it 4? No, I think it's 5, right? It's 5. And he's got it at 7. Of a different pathway. This is kind of goated shit, though. The only problem rested in its exorbitant cost. With Lumion's contractee and pyromaniac enhancement, he could only execute it 3 or 4 times. Considering the consumption of flames and the contingency allocation for safety measures, he could employ it once or twice relatively safely. For a pure contractee, this could merely teleport twice as standard procedure. Further, this was contingent on selecting proximate coordination, or coordinates. Of course, proximity didn't exclusively signify immediate vicinity. The spirit world encompassed a world of mystique, peculiarity, up, down, left, right, front, back. My ball... Hello, Pushkar. How goes it, brother? I'm good. How you doing? Isn't it like late as fuck for you? No, it's only like 11 p.m. That's not bad. The spirit world encompassed a realm of mystique and peculiarity. Up, down, left, right, front, back, even time intermingled there, intersecting with the real world, governed by its distinct chaos. In essence, Trier was a holistic notion as it held sway. It boasted a corresponding domain in the spirit world, unsullied by the fragmentation or dispersal. Nonetheless, its surrounding extended beyond neighboring towns and villages. It might correlate to a river's conceptual presence in the southern continent. Minus precise coordinates, Lumen could solely teleport within Trier's immediate ambit, or he risked straying into the spirit world's treacherous realm. Well, I don't like this music. Thank God. When he had endeavored to traverse the spirit world previously, all of Trier's locations had materialized in his consciousness, granting him the capacity to teleport to the dance hall. Concurrently, Lumion faintly perceived the Highland Kingdom's city of White, Rapis, his former destination. It wasn't overtly distant in the spirit world from Trier, but nor was it nearby. Directly teleporting there remained unfeasible for Lumion. He needed to ascertain one or two intermediate coordinates between the two places. Inclusive of limited use and range, his spirit world traversal from the hand perfectly met his expectations. Lumion proceeded to the full-length mirror and activated the mark on his left shoulder, and observed his charred red transformation into a middle-aged man, featuring a few strands of silver at his temples, his cheeks rounded, his eyes amber. Gardner Martin. It can replicate one's appearance, physique, and demeanor, yet actions and mannerisms solely stem from myself. The transformation had expended a notable degree of transformation, but its maintenance necessitated but a fraction. He could adopt Martin's likeness for more than 10 hours. Dispelling that, Lumion retreated a few paces. Ha! In response, his spirit surged back into the black mark in his right chest. His spirit body quivered, releasing an almost imperceptible yellow light. The radiance penetrated the mirror, traversed the wall, vanishing nearly 10 meters. Effective solely at close quarters, consuming less spirituality than the spirit world traversal, yet more than Nice's face. Applicable 4 or 5 times in combat. Lumion, his body marred by the burns, exhaled leisurely, donned his attire and settled into his bed and went to sleep. The next morning, Lumion, clad in a black felt hat, shirt, sweater, and sturdy jacket, pressed the doorbell of apartment 601. Franca greeted him with a downcast countenance. Is your sense of temperature playing tricks on you? Have you gotten your hands on genuine mummy ashes? Lumion asked. Didn't you just ask yesterday? Franca snapped. The answer was still no. I'll take you to find a real mummy, Lumion smiled. Where? The southern continent's highlands. And how will we get there? Franca glanced, looking at her bathroom. Are you suggesting we bother your major arcana holder? I merely penned a letter to inquire about a transit junction. Have you obtained an artifact capable of teleportation? Franca asked. Through my contracted creature instead. Lumion shook his head. What sort of contract yields that? Franca asked. She had been wondering over Lumion's haste in filtering contracted creatures. Typically those amenable to Sequence 7 were fairly commonplace, and their summoning typically necessitated a ritual, rendering them impractical for confrontations. A unique kind of contract, Lumion chuckled. Franca studied Lumion carefully, circling around him. The pants-wearing, shirt-clad witch cleared her throat. Are we considered brothers? Not quite. We hold different beliefs. Isn't it superficially Steam, but it's actually Mr. Fool? I still maintain some faith in the eternal blazing sun, Lumion replied piously. After all, he had upheld this faith for nearly 6 years. Could we be considered friends? Franca asked. Yes, Lumion said. Could you teach me that contract? Name the price. I can only employ the contract due to unique circumstances. Okay. Franco refrained from pressing further, though a tinge of dissatisfaction lingered. Are you interested in journeying to the southern continent? Travel? Why would I want to travel? Jenna said. Do you wish to come along and observe? Okay, Jenna said deliberately. She recognized her need for greater experience in the realm of beyond her powers and observation. Furthermore, her maximum geographical range had been confined to Trier's Quartier de la Maison d'Opera. After a while, she had been captivated by the tales of the southern continent. Lumion assessed his two companions and said, I'd advise you to don thicker garments. The altitude is considerable and it's currently winter there. Oh, Franca looked at Lumion and understood why he was bundled up. Before long, Franca changed into a black coat resembling a leather armor and donned 3 dark knee-length pants. Jenna hadn't transported her thick clothes, thus barred Franca's. Though their appearances matched, Jenna was shorter, necessitating a tightened belt, secured sleeves, and rolled-up pants. Lumion reached out and grabbed their shoulders, activating the contract mark on his right shoulder. A spectral light danced from the seams of his clothing. Tired of seeing you oiled up? Okay. Alright. I will... You know what? Next, I will remember that next time, okay? I'm tired of not seeing you at all, Pushkar, but yeah, you know what? Make your fucking, make your points, buddy. Why not? Fuck it. Is it better? A spectral light danced along the seams of the clothing, enveloping Jenna and Franca in a surreal realm. In an instant, they departed the spirit world, materializing on a desolate island. Before Jenna and Franca could even adjust, Lumion initiated spiritual traversal once more. Upon their return to reality, the assassins found themselves in a distant, snow-clad mountain peak. How magical, Jenna said, as she gained her composure. If she were compelled to encapsulate the magic and articulate her sentiment, a choice of expletives may have been used. Though not certain if this location was indeed the southern continent, the fact that they could translocate swiftly from Rue de Blue Blanche to this wilderness underscored the mystical potential of teleportation. Lumion endured the pulsing headache and the substantial drain of his spirituality as he pointed to the City of White. Please proceed. It's so weird, right? Like, nothing's changed to my hair, but the fact that I parted it sideways, it doesn't look like it's oiled up now. Given I didn't put any oil either, but like this way, it just looks like it's oil, which is so weird. I didn't put any oil, mind you, but... Harry Potter. I tagged you in Discord. Yeah, one second. Where did we start today? Looks like you got 2 sideburns. Okay. Okay. We started at 3:14. Alright, so we're going like 9 chapters today? Okay, we'll live. Who the fuck is that guy? Okay, my hair's not that long, bro. Plague, how's it going, man? I mean, in fairness, the guy is kind of chatted up, though. Franca and Jenna couldn't tear their eyes away from the grazing herds of sheep. Is the story better today? It is better. It is better. Grazing herds, sheep, cows, and horses. He did have that here in a movie. The swarthy men donned felt hats and thick blue or red robes, while local women flaunted their colorful, multi-layered gowns. Franca stepped aside as a wooden carriage drawn by a long-haired bull trundled. Why the silence? Let's engage with the locals, Franca said. After all, what was the point of wandering without interacting? I lack sufficient information, Lumion said. I don't know enough either, Jenna felt a bit of embarrassment. After all, she was acquainted with were tales of romantic exploits featuring pharaoh, queens, and adventurers. I'm not much better, Franca said. How much is not much? Lumi didn't pry and ushered his companions into the shop. The proprietors, Solent and Paya, and Antesian, stood there. Solent addressed Franca and Jenna. What brings you here this time? Real mummy ashes. I want to see the mummy. Very well, I'll show you, Solent said. Being a seasoned purveyor of mummy ashes, he knew these products wouldn't bestow virility, but they were combined with genuine efficacious medicine before hitting the shelves. However, since the clients didn't inquire about the practicality, he saw no need to divulge that information. Furthermore, he suspected... Chris, thanks man, he couldn't read the fucking title. Furthermore, he suspected Lumion and the two women intended to purchase a mummy for resale and profit. Solent temporarily closed his shop and guided Lumion, Franca, and Jenna to the rear warehouse. Do you really want to see it? He turned to Lumion and the others, asking confirmation. Absolutely, Lumion said. In the midst of his words, his gaze fixated on the basement's pitch-black door. It bore a mystical symbol, its form a distortion of dark green, pale white hues. Within, a mix of rudimentary skulls, intertwined arms and vines, and inverted triangles melded. Solent brought forth a golden key, advancing to the door. Those arcane symbols appear rooted in the domain of death, Franca said. What significance do they hold? Laughing at your favorite viewer? Who's my favorite viewer? Nightwalker isn't here, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Is he here? I don't think so. No, I don't think he's here. As I understand, the cathedrals of... wait, hold on. I'm uncertain, Franca said. Generally, these would play a pivotal role in ritualistic magic. Yet, without a wellspring of power, such magic can falter. As I understand, the cathedrals of Orthodox churches feature akin arrangements. Favorite viewer ignored? Nah, I don't have favorites, guys. I don't have favorites. The devout believer who pray daily lend their spirits and spirituality to sustain the magic. While individual contributions may seem modest, their accumulation wields ample power. Perhaps this location holds the power necessary for sustaining ritualistic magic, Lumion grinned. Leodero! Yes, you may have a reason to rejoice. This perspective heightens the likelihood of finding a genuine mummy. Hopefully, counterfeits aren't as rampant here, Franca said. But why they need to bring us to see a real mummy? My divination could ascertain the authenticity as well. To broaden your horizons. The OnlyFans is still pending? I don't know what you guys are talking about. That wasn't a... What are you guys talking about? I don't... You guys keep saying this. Like, what is this? Is that, like... Did someone make a promise or something? I don't know. You know, I'm old. My memory isn't what it used to be, you know? Directly requesting mummy's ashes might tempt him to provide counterfeits. When your divination results manifestation on the spot, should I then smash his cabinet or engage in a scuffle? Of course, Lumi left out the adverse effects of the 3 contracts. The abscessed hand stoked a yearning to snap a target's neck. The human-faced mantis fueled a heightened disdain for those who unjustly maligned the innocent. The armored shadow goaded him to break free from the shackles of life's confines. Just accept you're bald now? Listen, bro, if you want to try to take my hair, you can try, okay? This is solely mine. My hair's my favorite thing about... I fucking love my hair, dude. Rake in the money. Yeah, yes, the 9 streamers. You are right. Unknown and Pushkar. You're absolutely right. This is also true. If I'm bald, Pushkar, I'd love to see your fucking hairline, buddy. If I'm bald, yeah, you got like negative hair. Perhaps Mr. Fool's witness or the boon of bribe rendered these effects relatively manageable. There were detriments he could subdue with focus, yet their collective might occasionally sparked such impulses. Simultaneously, Frank and Jenna scoffed. Only hunters harbored an affection for violence. At that juncture, after a brief struggle, Salient opened the pitch-black wooden door. During the basement passageway, Lumine's eyes landed on a well-imbibed oil lamp. Drenched in the dancing hues of the dark green firelight, Franca and her companions trailed behind Salient. The already cold atmosphere seemed to plummet several degrees Celsius lower. The Salient proceeded 7 or 8 meters straight ahead, navigating past a firmly shut grayish-white door. 3 stone doors stood positioned at the corridor's midway point. Salient nudged open the door confronting him, unveiling a diminutive sepulchre to Lumion and his comrades. In the chamber's heart rested an exotic humanoid sarcophagus. The mummy hails from 5 centuries ago, Salient said. He seems rather unconcerned about us making off with the mummy, Lumion mused. Perhaps he thinks nothing of us, Franca chuckled. Franca remained silent during the exchange, her curiosity and trepidation fixated on the innards of the gold sarcophagus. Within, a corpse swathed in yellowish-brown fabrics laid, its lips slightly parted. Unrestrained by the foreign surroundings, Franca extracted a mirror and divinated. Before long, an aged voice resounded from Franca's mirror. A bona fide mummy, albeit not ancient in origin. Franca's gaze snapped at Salient. I fibbed earlier. The mummy isn't a relic from 5 centuries. Truth be told, it was crafted a fortnight ago and dispatched here. But regardless, it underwent a comprehensive, protracted mummification process. The sole disparity from ancient mummies is the brevity of its interment. An ancient mummy born a mere fortnight ago? Lumin quirked at the store owner. Do you hunt down the living to fashion mummies? No need. We see countless deaths every day. Procuring fresh cadavers only requires a nominal fee. Hiring hunters to track down and capture would be far more expensive. Jenna regarded the mummy with newfound perspective. It was the body of someone who hadn't been dead long. His motionless form stood exhibited as a tradable commodity. Are there older mummies available? How about from last year? Salient said. That works, Franca said. Less enthused, Salient led them to another sepulchre. Initially, Lumion and his companions intended to purchase an entire mummy. Salient had showcased the most well-preserved one. Now, it seemed Lumion merely sought a segment. The yellowish-brown mummy dating back to the prior year had already shown signs of fragmentation. Not only were the lower extremities absent, but its chest and abdomen were sporting wide gaps too. Raynette or Sharon? Sharon, of course. Not even a question. How much do you want? 50 grams, Franca said. 500 Verldor, Salient mused over. Promptly, Franca remitted the payment, her eyes fixed on Salient as he procured a hammer and dirk, employing them to sever a portion of the mummy's arm. Jenna stood dumbfounded. To her, this seemed brutal. What do you mean, willing? I'd be the one asking it, unknown. What a silly question. Though she'd witnessed mob fights and personally taken a life, she had never seen someone treating a human remains as inexpensive commodities. Internally, Franca sighed and suppressed her emotions. The stark reality of the Beyonder world and its potion systems. Yet compared to a boon, it was strangely appealing. With the fraction of the mummy's arm now in her possession, Franca wordlessly followed Jenna out of the tomb. They had traveled scarcely 3 meters when the kerosene lamps receded, casting an eerie dimness. Silent swiveled his head in a mix of surprise and uncertainty. Okay, 2 more chapters. Okay, let's just do a quick chess game and then we can do the last 2, okay? I'm getting a little tired. Bye, Unknown. No worries, buddy. Appreciate you popping by. There you go. 2-hour long stream today. That's not bad. I guess since it's already a thing, which contract do you like the most? Okay, so the hand gives him the ability to teleport. The bride gives him the ability to... Is that the shriek or whatever? Is that the harumph? And then the mantis gives him the ability to change faces. I think for me it has to be the teleportation, right? Oh no, not the bride. The other guy. The guy. No. Hand. The guy who died. And the guy who was set on fire. And then the one. Gotta. You gonna take the fucking pawn? Yeah, go on. Oh, you're so cool. Oh, you didn't even take the pawn, idiot. If I move this, then he goes here, and I get kind of cooked. What do we do now? Question. Do I just have to eat it? The contract spot? Okay, I'm not gonna... It's not bad. It's not bad by any means. It's just like... Okay, he didn't see it. We're chilling. He didn't see it, boys. We're good. Boys, we're laughing. We're laughing. Here. 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 He didn't calculate it out. He goes here. It's not check for me. I'm okay. If I was on this square, I'd be cooked. But I was here, which means as soon as he queens, I'm okay. I queen. Check. Can't go here. Covered. Can't take this. Covered. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I saw the line. Let's go. It's so peak. He didn't see it. He didn't see the line. Oh, it's so peak. It's so peak. 1250. Let's go. Who's your profile pic? It's a character from I hate this. It's a character from Food Wars. which is the anime I was watching at the time when I created it. Shit show, by the way, don't watch it. Wait, hold on. So you're saying I go here, he takes, I take, he takes. Oh, we're even. Oh, you idiot. I mean, it's just too much fan service, Plague. That's my problem. It's too much fan service. It's not like a horrible show. It's just way too much fan service. He so thought he had me beat just because just because he has a knight. It's like, bro, you're not good enough to use the knight the way it's supposed to be used. I go here. Oh, and now he... Oh no, I can't. Oh, that sucks. Damn, he could have had me. Fire Force is too much fan service, true. Chained Soldier? Is that an anime? I've never heard of that. Just reading the plot line, I get what you mean. I was like, got him. Queens. Queen's checkmate. If I wanted to be really disrespectful, queen, rook, checkmate. All right, let's do two more chapters and call it, boys. In the dim corridor, despite the... Wait, have I changed the title? No. Is it why you do that? Right check. Smart. In the dim corridor, despite the unchanging temperature, an icy gust swept through. Lumien's initial urge was to reach into his pocket and get Mr. K's finger, yet he held back, mindful of the unfamiliar territory. Mr. K might not be able to sense the use of his finger. Franca swiftly reacted too. A small mirror materialized in her palm. Jenna, less experienced, didn't grasp the significance, but her instincts told her this wasn't a good thing. It was akin to a spooky tale. Silent, avoiding the dim oil lamp's gaze, moved past Jenna and Franca, and made a beeline for the wooden door. He made Lumien no mind. Sounds of impact echoed in the tombs on either side. It wasn't clear if sarcophagus lids had been struck or if heavy doors had been pounded. Silent's expression shifted as he bolted. In the silent basement, echoes of pounding lingered. Lumien and the others hurried after the Mystic Potion store owner. At that moment, the pitch-black door creaked shut. Seeing this, Franca sprinted forward and flung the mirror at the door. A remnant crack marked the mirror's collision with the door. Franca and Lumien came to a halt, their attention on Silent. Jenna, still in motion, understood and made the same choice. In the corridor, Silent, decked in a blue coat with gold accents, stood frozen. The pounding from the tombs persisted. "We're done for. We're done," Silent said. "What's going on?" Only by grasping the core issue could she devise what's happening. "We're done for. We're finished," Silent said. "It's awake. It's awake." Seeing that the Mystic Potion store owner was clearly in a state of horror, Franca abandoned her attempts to ask him, and took out a magic mirror divination. Even if the divination's response wasn't clear and required interpretation, it was still better than being clueless. In its seconds, Franca completed the incantation, and witnessed an aqueous light emanating. Lumien, who stood beside her, asked, "Did it work?" "It did. I can perform a divination." Lumien nodded. No need for questions. Franca was caught off guard as she understood Lumien's intention. Just then, the basement shook once more, and Silent was so overcome with fear that his voice turned high-pitched. "It's here! We're gonna die! It's here! It's here!" Silent's cries of despair still echoed in the air. Lumien cast an appraising glance at the Mystic Potion store owner, pondering whether to utilize Niece's face to transform into a mummy and give him a scare. Therapeutic provocation had its merits too, but considering his waning spirituality, Lumien chose to shelve the idea. Jenna swung her right palm, delivering a resounding slap to Silent's face, bewildering him. Franca and Lumien exchanged glances. As the pitch-black door and the basement walls swayed gently, the cacophony outside subsided. Isn't this how they wake them up? That's how they would bring back my neighbor when they lost control. It wasn't madness. In the factory district, people had their own practical remedies. More often than not, it did the trick. Of course, if he were part of the family, she wouldn't dare try it. She'd seek professional assistance. "Well done." Franca snapped out of her reverie and commended. We're outside? When did we get outside?" Silent's gaze cleared. "When you were screaming, 'We're going to die, we're going to die.'" "Who were you saying was about to wake up?" Lumion asked. A genuine ancient mummy. It slumbers deep within the tomb and only stirs occasionally. It only woke up a few days ago. Why did it wake up so quickly? Normally, there was a rough time frame for how long a mummy remained awake. According to Salon's experience, it would be at least another month before it woke up. That's why he dared to bring the others here. Unexpectedly, an incident occurred, though. And what caused the accident, and what caused the mummy to wake up? Lumion directed his gaze at Franca, as if silently asking her. Franca understood his inquiry and shook her head, indicating it wasn't necessary. The mummy's ashes were merely supplementary ingredients. The ones formed this year were still usable. There was no need to risk dealing with what seemed to be a perilous entity. I don't care if it's a last year's mummy or an ancient one. There are two things I know for sure. First, I saved your life, and second, we were scared out of our wits and nearly met our demise down there. So you owe me a thank you present and compensation. How much do you think is fair? With the memory of owing Armored Shadow and Mr. Fool 100,000 Vrildor, Lumion was keen on seizing every opportunity he could. How about 1,000 Vrildor? That's all I have on hand. Agreed. Lumion didn't push or attempt to haggle. As the quartet made their way... What the fuck is happening here? As the quartet made their way to the stairs leading to the warehouse, Franca lowered her left hand and let something slip into the shadowy corner. After getting 1,000 Vrildor and coins, nuggets, and jewelry, Lumion and Franca exited the potion shop. Franca glanced back at the shop and said, "All this, and we end up with a mummy's hand and 500 Vrildor. Are you running short on funds again?" Franca asked. Used to save people without expecting payment. Have you switched to the spectator pathway? Lumion teased. The special contract I mentioned involves sacrificing 100,000 Vrildor. 100,000 Vrildor? Jenna's understanding of monetary matters had undergone quite a transformation since entering the world of mysticism. Based on what she knew, even someone like CL didn't have as much liquid wealth as her, yet he dared to accumulate a debt of 100,000 Vrildor? Why didn't you teleport us right to the door from the start? Franca asked. Don't you think it's more dramatic to do it at the last moment? Lumion retorted. Naturally, the actual reason was that he had recently gained the ability and hadn't ingrained a reflex to use it. When the door in the basement shut, he had been hesitant to attempt teleporting for fear of failing. Later, Franca successfully did her divination, and through it, Lumion confirmed the ability to remain connected to the spirit world. Let's find an inn, Franca said. Lumion said, massaging his temples. I need to rest. Okay. Franca wasn't in a hurry. Why are you using divination? Jenna queried. I'm using it to divine the reflection in my other mirror. I left a small mirror that looks like a shard outside that basement. With that, Franca caressed the mirror and chanted an incantation. Before long, the mirror projected an image. Salent, the store proprietor, stood before the pitch-black door as he cried out, "Only death endures forever." 322. Oh shit, Franca's gonna advance as well. Let's go. Lumion and Jenna struggled to grasp the gravity of the situation before them. Their attention turned to Franca. Franca observed Salent bowing and offering his prayers before departing the basement. She spoke. He seems to be from the Numinous Episcopate. Numinous Episcopate? Lumion, who had encountered reference to this organization with Aurora's grimoire, knew it originated from the royal lineage of the Balam Empire. The organization seemed to involve awakening or reviving death. Aurora's knowledge of the Numinous Episcopate was somewhat superficial, though. The Numinous Episcopate? Jenna asked. Franca provided a succinct overview of their background. In the Southern District, the Numinous Episcopate holds a comparable status to the Rose School of Thought. Although they don't resort to blood sacrifices or terrorism, rituals are inherent to their nature. Their pursuit of death's revival necessitates some sacrifices. Right. The Numinous Episcopate's leader is a demigod named the Pale Empress. Pale Empress. Given the Numinous Episcopate's similarity in strength to the Rose School of Thought, it's plausible the Pale Empress is an angel. Lumion rubbed his head. Why would the shop owner and Intesian join the Numinous Episcopate? Jenna asked. Salant, having though lived in the southern continent for over a decade, found himself in a puzzling predicament. His allegiance to the Numinous Episcopate, despite some benefits, raised questions. Salant wasn't one of the lowest denizens of Trier like Jenna. Who knows, Franca muttered. Numerous possibilities exist. Enforced conversion after being captured, manipulation, gradual enticement, or transformative experience. Who knows? In any case, they display cunning by employing a genuine northern continent native to operate a mystical potion shop, peddle mummies, and act as an inconspicuous spy. It defies easy suspicion. After observing Lumion, Franca decided not to delve any further, and secured lodgings for them. Upon Lumion's awakening, sunlight streamed through the glass window, casting a warm glow on Franca and Jenna, who were seated at the table. Franca and Jenna savored a burrito seasoned with spices, enveloping a succinct beef and mutton, while Lumion indulged in a plate of roasted onions, potatoes, corn, and assorted meats. A sweet corn-based beverage graced their table. Looks like you two had quite the time. Lumion sat up. I don't have to venture here, and I accomplished what I set out to do. It's time to unwind, Franca said. What's this called? It's called... fuck it, you get the point. Despite a prolonged attempt, Franca struggled to articulate her thoughts in appropriate language, eventually just abandoning the idea. We brought you some lunch, Jenna said. I figured you might be hesitant to venture out due to the language barrier, Lumion admitted. He'd previously realized that only a minority of locals understood Intesian, and even then only a basic level of rudimentary communication could ensue. Body language is universal, Franca said. Franca's gestures are truly something to behold, mimicking pig squeals, cow moos, sheep bleats to communicate her meat preferences. Yet the nobles here are a departure from my expectations. They appear more akin to the northern continent counterparts than their southern continent peers. In this ambiance, the trio enjoyed a leisurely lunch. Under the cover of night, La Marche de Quartier Gentleman district nestled in the Restocks. An abandoned building stood, a sight Lumion had set ablaze. Cognizant of the potential disturbances that advancement within an apartment may trigger, Franca heeded Lumion's advice and selected this vacant location. Promptly erecting a wall of spirituality, Franca collected the mummy ashes thanks to Lumion, along with the other requisite ingredients. Meanwhile, Lumion and Jenna maintained a careful distance. Almost instantaneously, her flaxen hair, formerly bound in a ponytail, broke free of its constraints, propelled by an invisible force. The hair drifted and extended, resembling a radiant web expanding in all directions. More ethereal strands emerged, condensed and elongating. Swiftly, they populated the space, embraced by the wall of spirituality. Once again, Jenna bore witness to the mystifying and surreal attributes. While obscuring the burgeoning hair, Lumion and the others waited patiently. Whether this passage of time spanned dozens of seconds or minutes, the hair finally withdrew, returning to Franca's form. With a jubilant countenance, Franca pivoted. Everything went smoothly. I'm anticipating future advancements to be quite cumbersome, though. Curiously, Jenna found Franca's flowery blouse and off-white breeches harmonizing impeccably with her demeanor. The attire seemed to accentuate her ineffable allure, evoking a blush and warmth in Jenna's ears, despite her own femininity. Lumion, on the other hand, experienced an unfamiliar, unwanted warmth and reaction, as Franca acclimated to the powers of a demoness. Lumion and Jenna's racing hearts eventually steadied. Concluding their task in dismantling the barrier, Franca rejoined them, sporting a radiant smile. How much an improvement are we talking? Take a guess, Franca said. I don't fucking know, I'm not a demoness. With that, an intangible force coiled around his legs and bodies, and with a rush, Lumine's form was engulfed in crimson flames that erupted from within, engulfing the threads. Only now did Lumine and Jenna perceive the intangible tendrils. Do you understand now, or would you like to find out? No, no need, Jenna and Lumine retorted immediately. Are you truly certain? I assure you, a mere touch can give you true pleasure. Fuck off, Jenna instinctively retreated. Lumine regarded Franca, grappling with whether she was indeed teasing him or harboring some genuine intent. Yes, the target should be Jenna, but I can't rule out the possibility they just want to embarrass me. Franca composed herself and said, in addition to the two I mentioned earlier, my proficiency in black fire, frost, curse, and mirror magic has been elevated. Their integration has been expanded as well. For instance, I can utilize a mirror to focus a target and employ black fire to enact a curse. Another scenario involves my utilization of magic mirror substitution and staff substitution to counteract fatal harm. My abilities as an assassin and instigator have also been enhanced. Do you possess a charm-like ability too? Lumine nodded. Franca's smile hinted at an answer, but she chose not to. You've become even more beautiful, Franca said. Is that so? Franca responded, her surprise evident. Lumine couldn't resist stroking his chin, weathering Madame Hidden Blade would genuinely switch to Iron-Blooded Knight when going from sequence 5 to 4. As Lumine bade farewell to Franca and Jenna and embarked on his journey to the motel, a sudden realization swept over him. Termi Boris, what's the next boon after contractee? Yet Termi Boris remained silent. Fine, once I locate the Padre, he'll tell me. Although his confidence may waver internally, maintaining an outward appearance of assurance was essential. The day of the prophesied event had arrived. In Quartier de la Princesse Rouge, at the crossroads of Rue de la Muraille and Rue de la Chevelle Blanche, Lumine embarked on a public carriage from a casual grace. Clad in a white shirt and black vest, brown trousers and sleek leather shoes, he cast his gaze upon the slumbering neighborhood that lay ahead. Let's go, boys! 8 chapters, 9 chapters? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chapters today. Don't let anyone call me a fucking bum. I did it. Prime Wiz would have done 18. Prime Wiz would have had a lot more viewers to do 18, okay? And I would have. Watch me, bitch. Alright. Alright, boys. We'll call it there. Would have finished COI by now? True. You know what? You know what? You give me the word, Hope, and I'll finish it today, okay? You give me the word. Alright, boys. We'll catch y'all tomorrow night, not day because I got work. Be excited though, because Thursday and Friday I'm off work, kind of. So like we can do like midday streams, not like this early, but like because I have like half days at work. But like maybe in like an hour or two we could start. Maybe. Prime Wiz would have flown over to China, forced him at gunpoint to write the 3rd book, read it, streamed it to you guys, deleted the VOD so no one else can know but us, like the secret of the One Piece, and then leave, you know? Alright, boys, that's it. We'll call it. Y'all have a good rest of your day or nights. And I'll catch... Who is the author? Cuttlefish? Alright, that's it. Bye, boys.